Did y'all see that video going around of that military tank squeaking, the wheels squeaking as it's going down the street at that failed parade for Donald Trump's birthday? I can't tell you how iconic that is. Like, bro really thought he thought he was the mustache man. You thought you was gonna have a whole military celebrating you like you God himself, and you thought the crowd was gonna go wild. And
you know it's bad when the loudest thing at the president's birthday parade is a squeaky tank. Hello everyone, welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide. I'm your girl Amy, and if this is your first time here, I cover the real stories behind the viral headlines. And today, I've got one that's got the internet laughing, cringing, and side-eyeing the President of the United States. So here's the scene. It's June 14, 2025, President Donald Trump's 79th birthday. Yes, he's currently serving his second term in office after winning re-election in 2024. And to celebrate, he stages a full-blown military parade in Washington, D.C., supposedly in honor of both his birthday and the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army. Sounds grand, right? Well, not exactly. And instead of a roaring crowd, patriotic energy, or cheers from supporters, what we got was crickets, empty chairs, silent streets, and the haunting sound of one sad little tank squeaking down Constitution Avenue.
You know what? I think I figured out why nobody showed up to Trump's parade. Because all of his followers work for ICE now, and they're too busy trying to arrest immigrants. Literally all the Trump loyalists work for ICE now. Like, has he depleted his resources already? Like, that's all he had? Is MAGA tapping out already?
So Donald Trump held his big, beautiful military birthday bash on Saturday. And I love watching the videos of the tanks going by. And behind the tanks, you see the bleachers, and no one's in the bleachers. No one's there. No one showed up to this G.I. Joe cosplay shit show. How humiliating. How embarrassing. You know, not for nothing, but on my birthday, I want to spend it with friends and family, not sitting in the rain, looking at empty bleachers with a bunch of strangers.
Now, once that video of the tank squeaking down Constitution Avenue hit the internet, it was over. The jokes came in fast. People were calling it Squeakgate, saying it was the quietest parade in US history. But because it was just that empty, you could practically hear the bolts rattling and the gears whining, and it became the internet's newest obsession. But that's not all they noticed. People also pointed out something else, and let me say this carefully because we can't confirm what was really going on in his mind. But based on some of the footage circulating, Trump looked visibly unhappy. Some are even saying he looked depressed.
New footage shows Donald Trump looking incredibly depressed at his birthday parade in Washington, D.C. He's sad that nobody showed up. Take a look.
In 1914, years of
Truly looks inconsolable. He's upset that nobody showed up to his birthday party. Nobody went to the parade. It was raining all day. And meanwhile, millions of Americans were out in the streets protesting against him. Donald Trump's birthday today ended up being one of the worst days for him of his presidency. And I enjoyed every moment, I gotta be honest.
It's gonna rain on your head. You mean to tell me it rained on Donald Trump's parade yesterday, and I mean literally rained on his parade? Come on, sip a little tea with Auntie, let's talk about it. So y'all, it was expected to be, up towards 1 million people at that parade, y'all. When I tell you, they saying, if they had to count, nobody know exactly how many was there, that'll be put out later, but it looked like less than 10,000 people was at the parade. He's sitting up there, him and his wife, looking like they'd rather be in any place in this world than to sit up on that stage and look out in that crowd and see all that empty space out there. Not to mention, y'all, the protests all around the world, y'all, probably the biggest turnout in protesting in the United States history, y'all. Millions of people, y'all. They said it was over 5 million people protesting. But this ain't the icing on the cake, y'all. I come from a red state. Louisiana is a red state. Not to mention my parish, which I'm not going to say right now, but my parish is a red parish. When I tell you the protesters in my little small town, y'all, and keep in mind they did not look like me. They didn't look like me, y'all. Without saying it, they ain't look like me, y'all. Them people showed up to protest in my little red state, in my red parish yesterday, baby. I know a lot of stuff went down when people trying to, maul over protesters and everything yesterday, baby. But when I say them protesters showed up and showed out, and they did not go to that rainy day parade, now that's the tea you sip right there. I know he wasn't expecting that, baby. He went to the White House last night and went to cry. He had to cry so bad. Cause baby, you thought the people was coming. You paid some of them to put on the t-shirts and that, and still ain't have a handful of people.
Today's just further proof that Trump did not win the election, because tell me why I just saw a video from his birthday military parade and there's like one tank that's squeaking by and then like 3 people there. Meanwhile, I went to the No Kings protest today and there were thousands of people there, and that was just one protest. And from the numbers I'm reading, there were over 11 million people who came out today. This is so funny. Imagine you throw yourself a birthday party and spend like millions of dollars on it because like you just are so obsessed with yourself and need everyone to be obsessed with you. And then like no one shows up, and then across the street there's like a mob of a lot of people who show up and they're all holding signs with your face on it with like on it. And then like there's also signs of all your friends and they look really bad, and there's like also on their signs too.
And there you have it. By now, it's pretty clear this wasn't the powerful crowd-pulling celebration the Trump team probably imagined. Instead, it turned into something the internet will never let go. A parade remembered not for patriotism or power, but for empty streets and a squeaky tank. Between the awkward silence, the small turnout, and people now dissecting every little moment, including Trump's expression, it's safe to say this backfired in ways no one saw coming. And if you thought the internet was going to let this slide, absolutely not. Squeakgate is now officially part of the 2025 highlight reel. And this whole thing goes to say you can roll out the military, shut down streets, and make a big show, but if the people aren't genuinely behind it, the energy just won't be there. And when there's no crowd to drown out the noise, well, even a squeaky tank can say everything. But what do you guys think? Jump in the comments and let me know how you saw it. Did you catch the squeaks fast, or were you more focused on that quiet, awkward vibe? Let's have a conversation on the comments section. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you're here for the real reactions, the trending clips, and all of the stuff the headlines only hint at. And finally, I truly appreciate every single one of you who watches, comments, and supports this channel. Your time means a lot, and this community is growing stronger every day because of you. Whether you're here for the real stories, the reactions, or just to stay in the loop, thank you for being here. Stick around, there's always more coming, and you won't want to miss what's next. This is Trending Pulse Worldwide, and I'll catch you in the next one, where hopefully the tanks don't squeak and the crowd actually shows up. Bye!